This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so just to give you an overview what we discussed yesterday, we had discussed about the historical details of SCCM, when it was started and where we are at the moment. Then we discussed about the certification. We discussed about the opportunities uh, all over the places. Then training duration, and we discussed about SCCM sites. And also we discussed about SCCM capabilities, right? What SCCM can do. So these are the things which SCCM can perform, like asset management, deployment, compliance management, and security. Now today what we are going to do, we are going to discuss about the site roles, what all site roles available in SCCM, and then we will discuss about the lab requirement and how we are going to set up our lab. Okay, so the very first role, as you see here, is management point. Now, so SCCM site roles. So there are multiple roles available in SCCM. The first one is management point. What is management point? Management point is the communication bridge which actually um, helps to communicate. It actually enables the device and the server to communicate to each other. Okay, so let's say you have your SCCM server here, and you have your thousands and thousands of devices. Let's say Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows Server. Okay, this is your SCCM server, and in each device, to communicate to the device, you have a management point. SCCM will be talking to the devices using management point. So management point is the communication bridge, or the point of contact between the server and the devices. Got it? That's the role of management point. Without management point, you will not be able to manage any devices. So it is like all the policies, whatever the SCCM server has for devices, this management point will keep all the policy for each and every devices, and all the devices will come here in the management point and take the policy back to the device. Every device will come to the management point and will take the policy back. So it's a pull technology. Devices will go to the management point and get the policy from there. Okay, so that is management point. Now we'll discuss about the second role, that is distribution point. What is distribution point? So SCCM server, let's say this is your primary site server, primary site located in London, right? Now there are branch offices somewhere in Budapest, some branch of some devices, some branch offices in multiple locations, so Hong Kong, Mumbai, Chennai. Okay, so let's say these are Chennai, Mumbai, New York, Paris, and this one is Singapore. These locations have some devices, let's say 2000 devices. This also, Mumbai also has 2000 devices, New York 2000. Okay, now suppose you want to deploy some application, like let's say Google Chrome. So in order to deploy for Google Chrome, so you deploy it from primary site server, what will happen? All the devices will have to connect to primary site server here, and that will choke up the network. You see, 2000 plus 2000, so 10,000 devices will make the connection with primary site server in London. That will choke up the network, so network will be blocked. So we don't want that to happen. So instead, what we do, we'll have a distribution point somewhere here in these region. Okay, and these distribution point, DP distribution point, these distribution point will contain your Google Chrome or Firefox or any application files. So device SCCM server will put the application or the content on this distribution point to all these locations, and the devices in this location, Chennai, let's say Chennai will take the application from this distribution point, Mumbai will take it from here, New York will take it from here, Paris will take it from here, Singapore will take it from here. So that's the role of distribution point. So locally, to make the content locally available rather than the devices connect to the uh, different distribution point, which is not on the LAN network, which is on the WAN network. That will create problem. So in to previously, you see 10,000 devices were making the connection with London primary site server. Now only 5 devices, 5 distribution point. So that is manageable. Okay, so that's the role of distribution point. Now let's say fallback status point. Okay, the third role is fallback status point. Now let's say the devices need Chennai devices are taking the application or content from Chennai distribution point, Mumbai is taking from here, New York is taking from here, Paris is taking from here, Singapore. Now suppose Chennai server is down, the distribution point or the management point is down, the devices in Chennai are not able to get the content from here. So you can install fallback status point somewhere on the primary site server, or somewhere here in Mumbai or New York, anywhere where you feel the network bandwidth is good. So devices, instead of after some time, when the devices see this is not accessible, the devices will travel to some other distribution point, either Mumbai or New York or Paris or Singapore or London, and get the policy from there and the content from there. So that is the role of fallback status point. Clear? Software update point. These are the roles of SCCM. Okay, these are these can be installed on any server. It is not necessary that these roles have to be present on primary site server. You can install it on any other server as well. That's not a problem. Now, software update point, as the name uh, clearly states, it's a software update point. It is something related to patching. So those who are from patching background, they know how patching works. So basically patching works in this fashion. You have your Microsoft update server, right? Microsoft update server, which contains all the security updates. In the in your company, you will have WSUS. WSUS is Windows Server Update Services. So WSUS will actually make the connection with Microsoft Update Server and bring the patches, and then WSUS will be able to deploy the patches to all the devices in your company. Let's say you have thousands and thousands of devices in your company, so it will patch those devices, right? So WSUS will communicate with Microsoft Update Server and then bring the patches from Microsoft, and then the patches will be scanned against each and every computer here, right? And then WSOS will deploy the patches to the devices wherever it is necessary. That is the main purpose of WSOS. Now, suppose you don't want to come to the WSOS console, you want to patch it from SCCM, right? So you need to integrate WSOS in SCCM server using software update point. So the software update point which actually integrates WSOS in SCCM server. So you don't need to come to WSOS. WSOS will be working in the backend. Without WSOS, you cannot patch any device. Everything will be done by WSOS, but the front end is software update point. So you see everything will be, you can perform every task from software update point, and in the backend, WSOS will take all the responsibility and do the patching and everything. So you don't need to come to WSOS console. So software update point is necessary to integrate WSOS in SCCM. Role number 5, reporting services point. What is reporting services point? Okay, so to get the reports from SQL database, you have your SCCM server, right? And you have your database. Now, basically you install reporting services point here on the database server, which is called reporting services point, which contains all your reports. And SCCM, you can integrate reporting services point in SCCM console to get the data from database. So this will help you to get your reports. Okay. Point number 6, application catalog website point. Now, application catalog website point. What exactly is the role of application catalog website point is you can create a website, okay, for users. The website will be like this, and something like www.internalappstore.com, right? User can go to this website internally. Everyone can go to that website, and through SCCM you can publish some common applications which are being used by everyone, like Google Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, Microsoft Office. So application will be there, the common applications which are being used by everyone, and users, they don't need to call help desk or anyone. They can just go to this website and download the application themselves, whatever the application they need. So to create a website, you need this application catalog website point. And to publish the application, let's say you have SCCM server here, CM server. To publish the application, these circles are the applications, right? To publish the application from SCCM server, you need to have one more role installed and that is called application catalog web service point. The point number 6 is to create a website, and web service point is to publish the application from SCCM server on the website. That is web service point. Okay. Then we have asset intelligence synchronization point, asset intelligence synchronization point. Now, what is asset intelligence synchronization point is, you have thousands and thousands of computers are there in your company. Let's say you have 10,000 devices, and all 10,000 devices will have some software installed, uh, right? Let's say if you count, you got the list of software, 500,000 softwares software present in all computers. So you got the list of all 500,000 softwares. Now, to categorize these software, you need a synchronization point. So you have your SCCM here, okay, SCCM server. You can install one role called Asset Intelligence Synchronization Point, and this role will be talking to Microsoft Cloud Asset Intelligence Synchronization Point. This is Microsoft. Okay, so I can say Microsoft. This is on cloud. Okay, so one role is available locally, Asset Intelligence Point, and this Asset Intelligence Point will talk to Microsoft Synchronization Point about these 500 softwares. Whatever the software you have in your company, it will take all these software information to Microsoft Update Server, a Microsoft Synchronization Point, and then Microsoft will categorize the application. So the category will be like this. It will create a block. So some application, let's say Chrome, Firefox, IE, and UC browser, right? Safari. They are in which family? So Microsoft will say
Browser.
browser family, right? Similarly, they will create another block, um, window media player, VLC, MX player, and that will be in player family, right?
Media player
Then,
family.
yeah, right. Database, somewhere something like SQL, MySQL, and Sybase, Oracle. Okay. So Microsoft will do the categorization and um, give you the list with the categorization, that these applications fall under this category and these applications fall under that category, something like that. So that's the role of asset intelligence synchronization point. Okay, point number 9, service connection point. What is service connection point? So you have your SCCM installed locally, right? SCCM server, and Microsoft keeps on releasing new updates. Microsoft keeps on releasing new updates for all its product. And since SCCM is one of the Microsoft products, so to get the latest update from Microsoft, you need to install one role on SCCM called service connection point, and this role will talk to Microsoft frequently, and as and when Microsoft releases a new update, it will give you a pop-up that new update is available in for SCCM, and you can update your SCCM as and when it is available from Microsoft. One more functionality of a service connection point is you have Intune, that is also Microsoft product, that is cloud-based tool, and Intune, that is mobile device management. So you can integrate Intune in SCCM through this service connection point. So service connection point will help you to integrate Intune in your SCCM console. Clear? So we discussed about management point, distribution point, fallback status point, asset intelligence synchronization point, reporting services point. Endpoint protection is nothing but the antivirus, something like this, and Norton or Semantic, which you install on your computer. Similarly, Microsoft also provides you one application to scan your computer and detect the malware in your computer, right? Then you have SMS provider. This is also an important role. So let me clear it off. What is SMS provider?
System management service.
That's the full form, but what exactly is the functionality? Now, SMS provider is basically sitting in the between database and SCCM server. So you have your SCCM and you have your SQL DB database. An SMS provider will be sitting in between. Now, as you know, the SCCM works on WMI query, Windows Management Instrumentation query. SCCM does all the hardware inventory or software inventory, everything through this WMI query. Okay. Now, WMI query cannot be, whatever the information SCCM does through WMI query, that cannot be directly put in SQL database. SQL will not understand WMI query. So WMI query is given to SMS provider. SMS provider will interpret it and convert it to SQL query and put it here in the database. So it works like an interpreter or postman. It takes the data from SCCM and convert it in the SQL language and put it there in SQL database. That's the role of SMS provider. Then software update point we already discussed. Software service connection point, software update point, application catalog website point, web service point, state migration point. State migration.
Excuse me, Kashif, can I have one query regarding
Yes.
software update point?
Yes.
Can I ask you?
Yes, go ahead.
How do you know the particular client need particular patch or any security update? How do you know that which client need that exact
Okay.
patches or critical patches? How do you find out?
Okay. So can you put yourself on mute? I'm getting echo. Hello?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So how you find out which patch is required for which computer, right?
Yeah,
That is the
Kashif.
question, right? So as I have already explained, I'm explaining again. SCCM server, this one is your WSUS server, and this is your Microsoft update server. Microsoft update server. Now Microsoft releases patches on every second Tuesday of the month. So this month Microsoft released on 10th of July, right? On 10th of July, Microsoft released a few patches, and they are also releasing out of band patches. Out of band means they may release not necessarily on 10th. If they feel that the patches has to go out immediately, so they can release on any other date as well. So that those are called out of band patches. Now for patches which are Microsoft releasing, what happens, we have WSUS in our company. On premises WSUS server is there. Through WSUS server we connect to Microsoft update server. Okay, and we'll say give me the list of critical, security, important updates, upgrade, feature upgrade. Multiple options are available for Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 2008, etc. So you go to WSOS goes to Microsoft, and it will get the updates for critical security, important updates, whatever the updates you configure there, it will get those updates. So then WSOS will get the list of all the updates here, right? So let's say you have 100 updates listed here. Now you have all the systems. Let's say you have 10,000 systems available here, Windows 7, Windows 10, or server. All those systems will be scanned against each and every patch. So this patch will be scanned against each and every computer. So this patch, WSUS will take this patch and go to this device and check whether this is applicable or not applicable, if it is installed or not installed. Then it will go to this device, each and every device, the scanning will happen, right? And based on that scanning result, WSUS will have a database wherein it will keep a record of those information, that the patch is already installed on the computer, or it is not applicable, or it is mandatory or something, right? And from the database you can get the report that whether the patch is applicable or not applicable. So you can also integrate WSUS, whatever the WSUS is doing. You don't need to go to WSUS console. You can just install software update point here on SCCM, and you can perform all the tasks. All the tasks will be performed by WSUS in the backend, but you don't need to go to WSUS. This will be the front end wherein you will see everything. Got it?
Yeah, got it, Kashif.
Okay. State migration point, the last point. This role is not being used anymore now, but this is basically when you are migrating any computer from older version of operating system to the newer version of operating system. Let's say you are migrating device from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and you have state migration point. So what exactly a state migration point does is it will capture the users and network settings, okay, on users and network settings on a shared location. It will capture everything, and once the migration is over, it will reapply the settings on Windows 10, the newer operating system. Clear? Just to take the backup so that user does not lose anything. Anyone has any question so far in terms of SCCM site roles?
Kashif,
Yeah, go ahead.
can you explain, I mean, once again, SMS provider?
SMS provider.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever you are asking question, please also take your name so that I can address you
Okay.
as well. So SMS provider is basically interpreter between SCCM and database. This is your SCCM and this is your
Okay.
database.
Mm-hmm.
So SMS provider will take the data from SCCM and put it in the database server. So this is working as translator, you can say, between SCCM and database. Clear?
Okay.
Any confusion?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Can you differ your application catalog website point, right?
Hmm.
And seventh one also application catalog web service
Web
point.
service
What
point.
is the difference? Yeah, difference between of
Okay.
that two applications.
Now, the first point, point number 6, application catalog website point is needed to create a website. Okay.
Okay.
Your website is
Mm-hmm.
created, it's ready. Now you need that website to be connected to a database or somewhere so that it get the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have your SCCM server. So you need to install application catalog web service point to make the connection of this website to SCCM server.
Mm-hmm.
Clear?
Okay.
So the point number 6 is to create a website, and point number 7 is
Okay.
to make the connection between the server, SCCM server, and the
Mm-hmm.
website so that you can publish the application from SCCM server to this
Mm-hmm.
website.
Okay. Okay.
Anyone else has any question? Wajida, are you on mute?
Kashif,
Yeah, hi Kashif. No questions, Kashif.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
this is Bhaskar.
Mm.
But for SSCM, there is any backup fallback, like if suddenly accidentally down,
So that
then we
I already
can.
discussed about fallback status point number 3.
Okay, okay. Fallback status point. Even primary site or secondary site, we can
No,
again fall back to
primary, no,
there.
no, 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 no. It's not like a primary domain controller and additional domain controller. SCCM does not work like that. Primary cannot,
Mm-hmm.
secondary cannot become a primary. Secondary will remain as
Okay.
secondary. Okay.
Okay.
But new policy,
Mm-hmm.
if primary is down, secondary will keep on working
Mm-hmm.
and new policy will not
Mm-hmm.
come. Okay. Only the
Yeah.
existing
Okay.
policy will be coming to the devices from the secondary side.
Mm-hmm.
New
Okay.
policy will not be available. So you have to have this primary server restored properly.
Mm.
Then only it will
Okay.
work again.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
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 Kashif,
So
here, Azam here. I have one more question
yes, Azam.
regarding the the distribution point.
Mm-hmm.
When we use this, when we require distribution wall, we already have secondary site, right? When we use distribution point.
Distribution point is needed when you have devices on a remote location. I mean, distribution point is to distribute applications. Whatever the applications are distributed for the devices will take only from the distribution point. So you can have a distribution point somewhere locally, right? or you can have a distribution point on a remote location, but the devices will communicate to that remote distribution point and it might delay because of bandwidth. So to reduce the bandwidth network, you can the best approach is to have a local distribution point, so the devices can take the content from local distribution point rather than going traveling to the foreign distribution point. Clear?
Can we use secondary site and distribution point at the same place?
Yes, secondary site by default it comes with distribution point.
Okay.
When you install secondary site,
Yeah.
two default roles are available: management point and distribution point. Clear, guys?
Yeah.
Now these roles can be installed on the primary site itself, or you can install on secondary site, or you can install on any other site server. It is not mandatory that you have to have these roles installed only on primary or only on secondary. You can you can distribute the load. Do not put all the roles on primary site server. You can distribute the load on primary, secondary, or couple of extra servers. You can put the roles there so that all the servers are doing its own set of jobs, rather than you are dumping all the roles on one server, and if that server is down, all the services are down. Okay. Local lab. Okay. Hey guys. Hello.
As if we are facing network problem from your end, frequently disconnecting.
Yeah, I just changed the connection again. Okay. Okay, from tomorrow I'll have my wired connection instead of wireless connection. So I think
Oh, okay.
that should not create any problem. So I just restarted the router. Okay. So local lab wherein you can install the virtual machines on your computer. You can create uh, multiple virtual machines and set up your lab environment. So for local lab, the minimum requirement is you should have 12 GB of RAM and quad core processor and at least 300 GB hard disk. Okay, so you need to create 3 virtual servers and 1 client computer. Windows Server, I mean DC, DB, and SCCM. And the client computer will be Windows 7 or Windows 10. Clear, guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyone has this kind of configuration?
Yeah.
You have?
Yes. DC, SCCM, Windows 7, Dota
Okay.
3.
So, minimum 12 gigabyte of RAM. Okay. And quad core processor, 300 GB hard disk, 3 virtual server we will create, database, domain controller, and SCCM, and 1 client computer, either Windows 7 or Windows 10.
Okay.
Now, if you do not have this configuration, you can go on cloud. Microsoft Azure Cloud. Clear?
As if database means SQL, right?
Yes, SQL.
Yeah, SCCM in both we can install, right? On SCCM server and database.
Yes, we can. But just to simulate the production environment, normally we keep it separate. SCCM server will handle the SCCM part, and database server will handle the database part.
Okay.
Okay. Now in Azure, we will have 3 virtual server there as well. DC, DB, SCCM, 1 client computer, Windows 7 or Windows 10. Okay. Now, basically this Azure comes with 30 days trial. Did anyone work on Azure or created server?
No.
Anyone?
I worked on VMware.
Okay. So you need to subscribe with Microsoft Azure, and Azure will give you 30 days trial. If anyone does not have this kind of local lab setup configuration, suppose the computer is not capable enough to handle the load of the servers, so what you can do, you can go on live.com. Okay, and create free account. I'll give you the step, don't worry about it. Create free account. Okay, you need to create your Outlook account or live account first. Once that is created, then you go on Azure free trial and use this. Start with $200 credit. You need to use this link, put in all the details. Okay, and once you do that, it will ask you for your phone number. You need to click on start free. It will ask you for the phone number, your address, your details. Also, it will ask you for your credit card. Credit card is just for the account verification. It will not charge anything. It is Microsoft website. They are not going to charge anything. It is just for the verification. So don't worry about it. And phone number, you need to use uh, a genuine phone number because it will send a OTP to your device for the verification purpose. Clear, guys?
Yeah, hello, Kashif, Kushnur here.
Yeah, Krishna.
Yeah, which version we have to download the SSCM and DB SQL? I mean, which version we have?
First, tell me whether you are going on local lab or Azure. Which one?
Local lab. I have sufficient hardware.
Very good.
I have
So
for
who
local
is
lab. Yeah.
who is going local and who is going cloud? Local and cloud.
Kushnur is going for local. Yeah.
Krishna. Cloud.
No, I have hardware actually. Okay.
No, that's fine. I'm asking other people. Nagavardhan, Vajita, Bhaskar.
Yeah,
I
Kashif,
Huh?
I'm going on cloud.
Cloud. Afzal,
Yeah.
Vajida,
yeah, cloud.
Nagavardhan.
Local, I think, Kashif.
Very good. Nagavardhan. Okay, who else? Local and cloud? Bhaskar.
This was
Hello.
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 Kashif.
So sorry guys, my network is creating problem.
Yeah.
I'll have my wired connection. I'll change it today itself. Okay. So who is on going to be on cloud and local? So Noor
I'm
Nagar.
local VMware. This Bhaskar
Bhaskar. Okay. VMware
VMware.
workstation, right?
Yeah, workstation.
Azam Ali.
Local.
Azam local.
Yeah, local.
Ali. Who is this waiting for name? I don't see your name. Is it Chetan? Ali, I can't hear you. Okay, no worries, guys. So what you need is I'll send you an email. In that email, you will have the instruction how to create your Azure. Now, those who are going on local, they need to download these setup. Windows Server 2012 R2, VMware, SQL 2014 SP2, and SCCM 1606. I'll send this to the people who are doing local setup, and also everyone. I'm going to send this to everyone. But those who are going on Azure, they will have to follow this step. Hello.
Hello, Akasif.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Akasif.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So I'll have this fixed by today itself, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I would request you guys to create your Azure account, and also those who are going on local, download those setup files. Okay,
Yeah.
clear?
Okay.
Yes, Kashif.
Kasif,
Yes,
my request, if possible, to change right now, because it's getting frequently, suddenly it's getting
that's the reason I said I'll
disconnected.
fix it by today, and tomorrow we will have it on the wired connection rather than on Wi-Fi connection. So I'm stopping right now. We'll have the session
Okay.
tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Right.
So Kashiv, we are going to send these 2 emails for everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, guys, we will meet again tomorrow. Okay, and
Okay.
I'll have the connection fixed. Okay, I'll send the email to everyone.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. We'll meet again same time.
Thank you, Kashif.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.